Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your very first time here, this is the Diary of Unotando, and if you are returning, welcome back my loves. So guys, in today's episode we are basically going to be doing a story time. So yeah guys, it is that time again where I'm going to be telling you a story about basically how they both rocked up at work to fetch me the same time. Yeah, guys, I know. Yeah, so they both walked up to work to fetch me the same time. And your child, ingilosi yobufebe mangabe isikushiyile. But anyway, guys, before I do hop into this video, please make sure that you do give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment down below in the comment section, guys. And also don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you are always updated whenever I drop a new video. Alright guys, so without any further ado, let's just hop right into the story. Okay guys, so as you can tell, I am filming outside, so I do apologize if you do hear some funny noises in the background, but I am going to try to keep the story very short. So this story begins, I think it was in 2021 if I'm not mistaken. That was before I made my fiance, just a disclaimer guys, and this was when I was actually still single. I was dating a few guys, but it was nothing serious because I was just coming out of a very rocky engagement. So I had decided to just stay single and just find myself and just date a few guys, but not just really have anything serious, because I wasn't actually looking for a commitment at that time. So I was working at a company, and I would usually take about a 5 minutes walk, because it was very close by. So this one morning I had met this guy, so we're going to give him a name guys. We're going to call him Mr. Polo because he drives a Polo. So guys, I met Mr. Polo on my way to work, and he had just dropped off his kids at a nearby school, and he stopped me. We exchanged numbers, and yeah, that was it. So we really hit it off with Mr. Polo, but I did tell him that I wasn't looking for anything serious. And vele Mr. Polo, he was married. So I wasn't even looking for any commitment because he was married. He was a married guy. I was just looking for a fun time. But anyway guys, yeah, so Mr. Polo, we would usually meet every single morning when I was on my way to work. So Mr. Polo would be on his way to drop his kids off, and right after he drops his kids off, I would be leaving to go to work, and we would usually meet at the same spot where we met at the first time, because he would drop his kids off at the same time that I would normally pass by that school. So every single day we would meet up at that same spot. Coincidentally, no one would call each other and be like, hey, come pick me up here. It would just be a coincidence that we would always meet up with each other at the same spot. So this was a usual thing. It was happening like all the time, and every time we would meet up at that spot, he would decide to then give me a lift to work. So he would drop me off at work and then of course go back to his place. So Mr. Polo, he lived close by to work, hence him dropping off his kids at a nearby school. And this was a usual routine. Like every morning he would drop his kids off, and then we would probably meet up, and he would drop me off at work, and then he would go back to his place. So this happened for quite a few weeks, and then one day I was actually on my way home from work now, and I bump into this guy. So we're going to give this guy a name. We're going to call him Mr. I-20 because he drives a Hyundai I-20. So on my way back from work now, this afternoon, I meet up with Mr. I-20. Mr. I-20, we exchange numbers as well. Same thing guys, we exchange numbers, we start talking, and yeah, we just hit it off. So because Mr. Polo was married, I wouldn't spend enough time with him. We wouldn't get to spend like enough time together because he was married, and of course he was a family man, and I did understand that he had to be at home with his wife and kids. So I would usually spend my spare time with Mr. I-20 because Mr. I-20 lived alone. He did have a baby mama, drama, um, but he lived alone, so he was always available. So I would usually spend more time with Mr. I-20. So this one day, Mr. I-20, he picks me up from work, and then we go over to his place, and he decides to make some dinner for me and make some cocktails because he was very good at making cocktails. So he made some cocktails for me. Obviously we chilled, we had some dinner, and we got drunk, guys. Yo, those cocktails knocked us out. So I ended up spending the night there, and because Mr. I-20 now lived closer to my place, it was easy for me to wake up in the morning, and then he'd drop me off at my place. I would get ready, and then sometimes he would come and also pick me up. But now, Mr. I-20, I love the fact that he would confirm with me first before he does something, you know. Or Mr. Polo, he would just rock up and spur of the moment, no me nini, no me ganjani. And because we would normally bump into each other, I think it gave him angazi, some kind of motive to now not even call me whenever he wants to see me, or you know, just rock up and no me. So yeah, guys, we spend the night with Mr. I-20, and then the next morning he drops me off at my place as usual, and then I get dressed, and he tells me that he's going to come and pick me up when he is on his way to work. So he was gonna drop me off at work and then go to work. So I was like, okay, cool, sharp, no problem. So I get to my place, I have a bath, I freshen up, and then yeah, I decide to now wait for Mr. I-20 to come and fetch me. Nangempela afike Mr. I-20, and he comes and fetches me, and then he drops me off at work. So before he drops me off at work, we had spoken about the fact that I wanted him to come and pick me up later on, because he would knock off at 4 o'clock and I would knock off at 5 o'clock. So he would knock off first and then wait for me. And he was like, babe, can I come and fetch you later? I was like, yeah, cool, sharp, ang nanking. He drops me off at work, guys, and then I have a good day. And then later on, sengizophuma ke manje emsebenzini, and then Mr. I-20, he texts me and he tells me ukuthi he's leaving now to come and fetch me from work. And I was like, okay, cool, babe, sharp, tell me when you are outside. So nangempela, he gets to my workplace, and then he parks outside and he tells me ukuthi he's outside. Sure, when I look at the camera, because there were cameras outside, sure enough, I do see him. He's just waiting for me there. And then it was about 30 minutes before I had actually left for work, and then 5 o'clock hits. I decide to pack my bags and, you know, pack my work stuff and then get ready to leave. As if that wasn't enough. So now I'm outside the gate, approaching the exit, and to my surprise, I see this Polo that is parked outside. Now in my head, Ngyasho would say, oh no, that car looks very familiar. Is it not who I think it is? Bengithi, he just opens the window and he's like, hey babe, I came to fetch you, come and jump inside. And at that moment, I-20 upage like right next to him, like there's a tree separating them. So these guys are literally parked like right opposite or right next to each other, with only a tree that is separating them in the middle. and both of them are here to fetch me. Yazi nje ngivele ngingabe ngisazi ke manje ukuthi yazi ingilosi yobufebe mangabe isikushiya. So then I decide to calm down because my first instinct was like, do not panic. Do not panic. If you panic, ubanjiwe nje straight. So do not even panic. So then at that moment, Mr. I-20, he's now looking at me because he can see ukuthi this guy now in a polo uyangibiza and he's talking to me and he's literally calling me to come and jump inside. So then I just tell Mr. Polo ukuthi oh sorry, sengize nga request, so there's my ride here to fetch me. And then he's like, oh shucks, sorry, I should have called. Okay, no, it's fine, no problem. And then he just starts his car, he reverses back, turns around, and then just drives away. And then now I'm left like in the scene with Mr. I-20, because Mr. I-20 is literally looking at me now and looking at this guy, because uyabona ukuthi ay man, these people know each other, you know. But anyway, I decide to suck up the courage, guys, and then I go to Mr. I-20 and I jump in the car, and then he asks me ukuthi who's this guy, you know, who's this guy that you're talking to. So then I'm like, oh no, that was just an old friend. He was just passing by, so he wanted to give me a lift. And I told him that my man was here, so it's fine. He doesn't have to give me a lift. I'm fine. And then he looks at me and is like, you know, he can see, you would see, I'm literally like, you know, throwing him up and just blabbing my mouth and lying to him. But I was like, I said it with a straight face and I did not want any arguments after that. I was like, oh no, that was just an old friend that was just passing by, so he just wanted to give me a lift, and I told him I'm fine. But anyway, unjani sithandwa sami, how was your day, type of thing, you know. Yo guys. But anyway, we decide to drive off with Mr. I-20 and I end up leaving with him. I'm not gonna lie, I was really annoyed at the fact that he just surprised me and he just rocked up at my workplace and he came. Only for the fact that I didn't want it to be like an everyday thing now. Yoguti, if he decides to rock up at work and come and fetch me, then that should be okay. If he doesn't decide to call me and he just decides to, you know, rock up at my place, then that's okay. So the only reason why I said no is because I wanted to teach him discipline. I mean, you cannot do that, honestly. Where's your common decency? I mean, at least ask to come and fetch me, you know. I get where it's coming from, it's a surprise and stuff, but I mean, come on, at least ask. And you know, don't just rock up at my workplace and just expect to surprise me, because honey, you will be surprised, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's basically the story. And so yeah, I even ended up breaking up things with Mr. I-20 because I just wasn't having it, guys. And Mr. Polo wangiga, because you cannot just do stuff and not confirm with me, you know. At least call me and ask me if you want to do something, you know. For the fact that he had the guts to actually keep on doing it over and over again and not confirm with me when he wants to do something, that just really, really put me off. So I dumped him. And Mr. I-20, he had some baby mama drama himself that I just didn't want to get myself involved in, and I just didn't want to drag myself in with it. So I basically just ended things with both of them, and I just moved on with my life. So I don't even know which part of the world they are in or what they're even doing with their lives. And honey, I honestly don't even care. But anyway, guys, that brings it to the end of today's little story time. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this one. If you guys did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment down below in the comment section, guys. You know, I'd love to hear your thoughts and your opinions. And also, don't forget to turn on your post notifications so that you are always updated whenever I drop a new video. Alright, guys, so I will basically see you in the next one. Bye.